Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Chronically Ill Diaries podcast. Today we have an amazing guest, Nadia Ortega. We met right after I started on dialysis in 2019 and began sharing my story on Instagram. She reached out to me, DM'd me with just some positivity and was just honestly there for me throughout my entire dialysis journey, even up to the day of when I had my transplant. I was texting her with questions. I was texting her all throughout the 4 years on dialysis, just with questions and concerns. And every time she was just there for me and made me feel less alone and like I'm not going crazy, and just answered all the questions that she possibly could that I threw at her. And I'm just really appreciative of all that. And honestly, her just doing that for me, like, really meant a lot to me, and it still does, because honestly, when you listen to this podcast, you'll see that I still do have questions. It might have been questions that I was wondering while on dialysis, but honestly, I do still have questions because she's been post-transplant for quite some time now, and I'm only a couple months. So I do have questions for her that I'm still wondering, still going to ask her, and I'm just really happy that she's able to do that, and not just for me now, but also for you guys. She's able to share her story and get it out there. And I hope you guys really, really, really enjoy this episode. I had so much fun filming this podcast with her, and honestly, meeting each other for the very first time on this episode, which is actually pretty freaking crazy. We've never met before, never talked on the phone, never FaceTimed, nothing. So this was the first time we met in person and had a real life conversation, not over DMs or texts. And it was very super cool. And I'm so happy that we ended up doing that. The only downside of doing that is I had no idea where to meet up, where we can film a podcast in Modesto. So we ended up going to a yogurt mill, and it was actually really freaking loud. So if you do hear background noise, I'm sorry, but I did my best to knock that shit out. And hopefully you can hear us loud and clear and the background noise isn't too distracting or annoying. But long story short, I love her. This was so amazing to film, and I hope you guys enjoy this episode as much as we freaking do. So with that being said, let's jump right on into this amazing episode. I have so many questions.
Ooh, okay.
But, so this is the first time we're meeting. Yes. And how long have we known each other? 4 years?
Yeah, 4 years, maybe more.
Well, we went to high school together and we didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm the same age as your sister, or maybe like...
My cousin.
Oh, your cousin. Mm-hmm. Maybe like she's a year older than me or something.
You guys were in the same class.
I just know I had a class with her, but it was one of those classes where all ages were in. Like, it could be like a math class or something. I don't remember. Yeah. But like, we're like, it's just random. Mm-hmm. So I didn't know how old she was, and I didn't talk to her.
Yeah, no.
But yeah.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
But yeah, so anyway, hold on, let me, there we go. So first, I just wanted you to have a chance to introduce yourself.
Okay. I'm like, how?
Just like your name and like,
I'm like,
how old you are.
I'm 24. Are we stating like our...
Yeah.
Okay. I've got a kidney transplant 5 years ago now. It was in 2018 that I got my transplant. So yeah, it's been 5 years.
Exciting. Yeah, I'm just gonna move a little closer. It's awkward, but
no, it's okay.
Better for the audio. Dang, 5 years?
Mm-hmm, 5 years. Yeah, I know. 5 years in January, and it doesn't seem real. I guess. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
How do you feel now that it's been like so long? Like, do you feel like normal?
No. No. And I think like that's one thing like I get maybe mad about, that I don't feel normal, because like when normal life things are supposed to happen, it's just like a little bit longer, mm-hmm. I guess, or like a little bit more like just like a lot more to do than just like be normal, I guess.
No, yeah, I get that. Mm-hmm. So I feel like we've known each other, but I don't really know like your story. So like, how did that all come about? How did your kidney stop working? Like, what happened?
Yeah. So I started out with headaches. Like I would get like constant migraines, and I was like 15 at that time, so I would just get like constant migraines. But I grew up with migraines, like ever since I was a little girl. I don't know if I'm supposed to like look at the camera too.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
But like ever since I was a little girl, I grew up with migraines, and so like I just thought like it was normal because my mom also got migraines growing up, and so then one day I went to the doctor because I had a really bad migraine. I was like throwing up, and I was getting a new doctor, so it was just like the introduction to like my new doctor. I went from Antica to Modesto, and so I was just meeting with her. She ran all my blood work, and then my kidney levels came back. Like my creatinine came back at a 3, and so like they thought it was just like acute injury to the kidney, and so I started seeing a kidney specialist. And then like that's the appointment I went to when I had like my migraine and all that stuff. So I went to go see my kidney specialist. My blood pressure was maybe like 207 over like 157, and it was like insane. And so that same day that I met her, they like put me in an ambulance. They took me to Valley Children's Hospital, and then it was like, and ever since then it was like a whole thing. They did like a biopsy on like my novel kidney. I think that's what they're called, your novel kidneys.
Mm-hmm.
They did a biopsy on my novel kidneys, and they were working at a 30% together. And then that's when they found out like, okay, like no, this is like a little bit more than acute injury to the kidney. I went home 2 weeks later. They tested my kidneys again, and they were at 18%.
Dang, that was fast.
Mm-hmm. And so, and then after that, I was just like, you have kidney failure. And that was in September when I was like 15. The following year in February, that's when I started on dialysis.
Dang. So you had nothing like going on before that? It was
Nothing.
just all of a sudden?
It was just all of a sudden. And like the doctor said that it probably was going on maybe like 4 or 5 years prior. And
like slowly building up, yeah. Dang. So you were in high school. You were like a sophomore when that started. How was it being in high school, dealing, because you were on PD, right?
Yeah.
Dealing with all that.
I think it was like, I think now looking back on it, I think like maybe then being like 16, 15, it was like the end of the world, you know? But I feel like now, it's like you're trying to make up for the time lost, you know, like you weren't with friends, or like I wasn't with friends. Like, I remember I missed like, it was like my sophomore year when it all happened, but I missed senior sunrise, you know, like just like little things like that I remember. So it was definitely hard. Like my best friend and I, like we went different paths during that time. Yeah, it was definitely hard being like 15, 16.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, like, obviously your friends and like high school kids, like they don't get it. They just want to have fun, do their thing, whatever, and you're like dealing with something so serious.
Yeah.
Like, how is that? Like, did your close friends like try to understand, or like were they kind of just like?
No, definitely my close friend, like my best friend at the time, she definitely tried to understand, and she was definitely there. Like I would take my machine, like my Baxter machine, I would take it to her house, have sleepovers, you know, like she was very supportive of like I would leave supplies at her house, you know, like she would help me drain my bags and things like that. So no, she was definitely supportive. I think just like when I got more sick, it was just harder for me to like be there. And so obviously like she's gonna make other friends too during that time. And I think that's what happened. It was just like it was hard for me to be there, and it was kind of hard for her to be there for me too. Because I mean like you're 15, 16, and like your best friend gets sick, you know, so it's like I never really asked her like how did she feel during that time.
No, yeah, I get that. Yeah, so did you ever like travel or anything during that time? Because I did nothing for 4 years. Absolutely nothing, because bringing that stupid machine everywhere, and like at first I had the fat one, like where the bags like lay on top, and that thing was freaking huge and it was so heavy, and I couldn't like go that far with it, and then I ended up getting the littler one, and it was all digital. Yeah, so it like I didn't have to write down my vitals or anything anymore, and it went straight to my nurse.
Oh wow.
But that one had so many like Wi-Fi issues that thing would beep
Constantly.
Every night. I woke up at least 2 or 3 times to that stupid thing beeping because like it wasn't connecting or like it didn't whatever. Like it was just so annoying.
Did you ever get like tangled up in bed like with your tube?
I would always like be like squishing it. And so I'd be so comfortable and it would freaking beep and I just turn over and then it stops. And I'm like, dude, I'm so comfortable right now. It was so annoying. I hated that. I would be so mad. I would cuss at it a lot in the night.
Yeah, stupid machine. Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you didn't travel?
No, I didn't travel. If I did travel, it was like maybe spending the weekend at my uncle's house or
like
going
family.
To yeah. But other than that, no, I didn't go anywhere.
I spent the night at my friend's house once and I forgot like a drain bag, so I couldn't use the bathroom. And I held it all night.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, never. This is why I don't spend the night anywhere. Never again.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was so bad.
You know, eventually with like the drain bags, I used to think they were so gross that I would get my drain hose and just put it in the bathtub and tape it to the bathtub, like the little.
Really?
Because I hated the drain bag.
Honestly, that's so smart. I should have been doing that.
Yeah.
Then you just unplug it and you already can. Wow.
Do you just throw away all the plastic?
I would put it. I would literally just leave it in the room, and then I would carry that heavy thing all the way to the tub, and then cut it open. Wow.
Yeah.
That is so smart. Put it in your bathtub.
Tip. Pro tip.
Let's see. Oh yeah. So how long were you on PD?
I was on PD for 2.5 years, or close to exactly 2 years actually, because I started PD. When did I, like 2016, 2015, 2016, and then I got my transplant in 2018. So yeah, like a solid 2 years. When like you first started, you were going through that process, did they tell you like an estimate on how long or whatever it's gonna be or anything? No. Like on how long I was gonna get like my transplant? No. There's no estimate. Like just like they would just say like maybe like 6 years or maybe it could be longer. But no. Did they give you an estimate?
At first, they told me, oh, it's gonna come so fast, blah, 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 and I was excited. And this was before I even was on dialysis. They just said, oh, it's gonna be like 6 months max. No. And then, so that's when I started heavily drinking to try to kill them. So that way I could start feeling better because I could get a transplant. And then
wait, try and kill your kidneys?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. I was going through a lot at that time. So basically, my kidneys were failing. They were at like 20%. And then they said, once you get the transplant, you'll like be like brand new. You'll feel great, blah, blah, blah. So my thought process was, let's get there. So that way I don't have to feel like shit all the time. So I like drank a lot. And like that, like it wasn't to kill them, but I knew like it was helping in that. So I drank so much. And then eventually they were gone and I had to go on dialysis, and then they were like, oh, it's going to be at least like 5 to 10 years. And I was like, no, like it's going to be like 6 months. Like, no. And I was like, oh my God. And then I started like freaking out again. So it was 4. So, I mean, not that long, but kind of.
Pretty long.
Yeah.
Feels like forever when you're doing it.
No, yeah. Go ahead.
What about your training? Like, did you have to go to like PD training?
Yeah. Luckily, the nurse that I had at the time, she was really cool, and like it made it not feel so like annoying.
Like school.
Yeah. But yeah, I did that for what, like 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 weeks, and then once that was done, then we started the treatment. Okay. And yeah. What about you? You did it too?
Yeah, it was for like 2 weeks, and then we started the treatment like shortly after.
Since you were living here, where did you go?
To Fresno.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, my aunt would drive me to Fresno like 3 times a week, so we could do like the training or whatever.
Oh my God, that's crazy. Yeah, mine was literally. Do you live like in Salida or like over here on this side of Modesto?
Yeah, like when that was happening, I lived like on this side of Modesto. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I went like right off of like right next to Grigori.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I was still in pediatrics at that time.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So there wasn't like like that was like the closest pediatric one they had to us. So that's why.
Dang.
Mhm.
Yeah, all of that was like not fun. How did you feel the first time like they filled you up?
I felt like I was pregnant. But sometimes like I would like still do like the motions with my stomach, you know, and like
Yeah, I put on like a normal just like shirt, and I was like, oh my god, ew! Like I literally look large, like for no reason.
Yeah, and then, like you can like feel like the swishy in your stomach.
Yeah,
yeah,
because it wasn't hard. It was literally like
liquid. Did you get your pictures of how the inside looked?
No.
My doctor gave me pictures of like the inside of my stomach on like where they attached it, and like I thought it was super cool.
That's so cool.
I thought it was super cool. I should try and find those pictures.
Yeah. No, they did not give me anything.
Okay. Well, you should ask.
Yeah. Yeah, they probably have it. Yeah. No, yeah, I actually asked for like my tube, like when they took it out.
Oh, what did they say?
No. Yeah, I was like, please, like I wanted to make like a little like keepsake thing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that'd be so cool.
But they're like, no, you can't have it. I'm like, you're gonna throw it away. Like I'll wash it. It's fine.
I'll clean it. It can go in my biohazard, whatever.
Yeah, like what's the big deal? They're like, no, we can't give that stuff out.
Oh,
I'm like,
wow.
Okay.
Did you have a nickname for it?
No. What was yours?
Mine was Wang. My Wang.
That's a good one. Oh dang. No, I didn't even think about that. I like hated it for so long. Like, cause like the tape, I didn't know we'd have to use tape the whole time.
What do you mean?
I used tape the whole time.
Yeah, I did too.
But like, I didn't think we'd have to.
Oh.
For whatever reason, I thought like they would either give me something to cover it that wasn't like just gauze and tape, or I didn't have to use anything. But obviously that wasn't true, and so it itched so bad. And then I would tape it like up here, and it would itch so bad, and I always had like a little like I was like allergic to it. All the tapes, and so the least one I reacted to is the paper one. But even that, like if I didn't change it enough, like I don't know, if I went like all day wearing the same one, it would just like turn red and just itch.
Oh wow!
So I had to change it often, and it just like freaking itched. It was so annoying.
Yeah, and like the little like crusty. Yeah. How often did you change it?
Just once a day.
Once a day. I change once a day, like in the morning or like night, whatever.
Yeah, I would usually do it after my shower, so I could just do like everything together. Because we had to do like, do you have to do the cream on it and stuff?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Yeah, I had to put cream because it would like get like crusty, and so they put cream on it, and then that was it.
I remember having like a method of like, okay, I'm gonna put like my tape right here. Like you already know how long they need to be. Yeah, I remember like that was, I would try to make it fun with that, like, okay, well, and the little blue thing, like when the tape would come off. Like,
Yeah, you're the first person that I'm confessing this to, so no one judge me. But after 2 years, I said, fuck using sanitizer. Fuck like washing my hands.
Oh.
Or using a mask. And I literally would just like hold my breath. I would never wash my hands. I'm all like, I'm not gonna touch it, like whatever.
No, same. The fan, how they say you have to turn off the fan, you have to close all the windows. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I'm like,
how nobody can be in the room.
If there are people in the room, I'm like, okay, hold your breath. And then like literally, I don't know if they did or not. And then that was it. And I'm like, I never got peritonitis. Like, how do these people get it? And they're using like precautions, and you're getting it. Like, what?
Yeah, I never got peritonitis either. I feel like you would literally have to be like, I don't know, or even changing the cap. Like, sometimes I would budget with other things on accident and just.
I know a few times I've touched the tip.
Okay.
And I would freak out because obviously, like, if you touch it, you're gonna get an infection. So I'd freak out, and then I'd be fine.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't do anything. I would just put the cap on, and that's it.
That cap has the little,
It's a myth. It's a myth.
Peritonitis. If you had peritonitis,
you're nasty.
I don't know what you did.
I'm just kidding. No, yeah, seriously, you have to try
to get peritonitis.
Yeah, like let your dog lick it or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm like, hey, my dog has the cleanest mouth in the world. I'm like, I believe that myth.
No, yeah. But I always had like this weird setup, so I was able to put my machine in the closet.
Oh, that's cool.
So I never had to like close the windows or anything. Because I'm like, I'm not about to do that and the fan, like every single time. It just took up too much time.
Yeah, it took up way too much time. I couldn't do it. No.
Were you bad with like taking your blood pressure and like doing like all those things every day?
Definitely. I was not a good patient.
Me neither.
No, I was not a good patient. No, I never, and when it came time, oh my gosh, I never confessed this to anybody, maybe my grandma, but when it came time to like for the check-ins and like you had to write down all of your blood pressures, on my way over there, I was like,
okay, me too. Me too.
Okay.
No, yeah, because it's like maybe I would in a week, I would do it maybe like 1 or 2 times total, and you need to do what, like morning and night, right?
Morning and night before you plug it in.
Yeah. I would just be like, okay, I would like take it right before we would go, and I would be like, okay, that's like what it is, so I put numbers around that. And I'd be like, this is where it's at. And then if it's super high, I'd be like, it's because I'm nervous.
It's the white coat syndrome.
Yeah. And so they would never like question me. But the amount of times they threatened me, like once I had the new machine, like you couldn't like fake it at that point. Like if you didn't finish your cycle or whatever, like it just went.
Did you ever not finish your cycle?
Yeah. Well, because by the end, it got up to 11 hours. I do not sleep for 11 hours. Like I would be able to connect at like 10 or 11 p.m. maybe, and I have to be up by 6:30. So
there's no. I'm like, I never confess this to anybody either. But you know how there's like I think it's called like the dwelling period where it has to like sit in you for like an hour and a half. I would.
Sorry, I feel like it's loud in here.
I know.
So I can hear.
I would unplug from the machine for that hour and a half and like go around my business, and then like set an alarm when it was time to plug back in. I would plug back in and like empty myself out and then fill back up and then do the same thing. So I wasn't like connected to it.
Well, yeah, because you had like the other machines, and it didn't give you that choice to like unplug.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, so you had to empty like yourself, like with the manual.
No, I never did manual. But like, you know how like it was like, I don't know if it's like priming or like whatever. The priming's in the beginning, right? And then when it sits in you, it's like dwelling. What about when it empties out? Drain, yeah. When it was time to drain, I would just plug back in.
Oh, okay.
But like the machine would think that it's like sitting in me, and like that was plugged into the machine, but I really wasn't. I was like out doing whatever, and then I'd plug back in drain time.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, the new one offers that.
Oh.
And then it has like special caps for it or whatever. But I was just so lazy. Like I didn't want to connect at night early because I could do that, okay? But when I'm full, I couldn't eat. And I'd usually like be cooking dinner super late at night, and then I wouldn't be able to eat it because I'd be full. Because by the end I was having like 2,500 inside, so I was just super full. Like I couldn't do anything. I just wanted to lay down. It was painful. Like my stomach was literally out to here.
Yeah.
And I just was like, I just want to lay down. Like I don't want to move. So I would never do that. But that is smart. Like when it's less.
Yeah, but that's cool that you had like a machine that let you do that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like that like let you like disconnect and stuff like that. I would always get scared. That's what would scare me about getting peritonitis, is like disconnecting while I'm like on going, you know? That would scare me.
And keep like opening it
and
stuff. Yeah.
But I still did it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, did it scare me that much? I don't know.
No, yeah.
But yeah, I feel like it like, yeah. And eating watermelon right before, I remember one time I ate like a whole half of watermelon and then I connected, and like that painfulness you're talking about. Yeah, you feel super crampy. Yeah, and then I'd always feel like I had to go to the bathroom, but it was just like I was just full. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's so uncomfortable. Yeah, and then I hated that feeling of like when it was draining and there was nothing to drain, so it was just like poking at whatever, and it was so hurtful. Like, did you get it every day? Every day? I don't know every day, but I would get it a lot. Yeah, so they told me that it wasn't normal to get it after a while.
And I was just like, okay, well, I get it every single time it drains. So what is that, like 5 times a day? Like it always happened. And they're like, yeah, that's not normal. Like it's probably in a bad spot. And I'm like, okay, what do I do? They're like, there's nothing you can do unless we go in there and like move it. And so, yeah.
So it is normal for the time being then?
Yeah, so for 4 years, literally, every time it drained, I felt it like poking me. Oh my God. And the first drain was the worst because like you're dry. Yeah. It was so bad. And I would cry sometimes. Like it'd be that painful. But yeah.
Wow. Dang, it's like almost like, not that you forget about these memories, but it's like, I don't know. I feel like it's like completely different talking about it with like my sister or something. You know, it's like my drain bag. It's like, you know, like the drained well prior. I'm like, it's crazy.
Well, and for me, it still feels weird. Like I feel like I'm talking to you about this, and it's like I'm doing it still, but I'm not.
How do you feel like? I'm like, this is your podcast, but how do you feel like post-transplant, a month in?
The amount of times I like put on, like, say I just got out of the shower, I'm putting on my clothes, and like I go to grab the tube and like put it in my pants or something. Like I wasn't used to it for probably like 3 weeks. I kept like checking it and like trying to pull it, and I'm just like, oh God, there's nothing. But yeah, stuff like that. But overall, I feel good. But I still feel like not 100%. There's like something going on with my heart. Okay. That they said it would go away when I had it, but it hasn't. So like my heart beats super fast, and it's kind of annoying and like makes me feel weird, like in the mornings before I take my meds. So like that's going on, and then I still feel like a little like tired. But other than that, I'm able to eat again. I wasn't able to eat like anything. I had no appetite. But I eat a lot now.
That's good.
But yeah, not really. I don't know. I just feel good.
That's good. Yeah. It's like a different feeling, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's nice to not connect and not grab those stupid bags.
Or that stupid gauze.
And have to set it up every day. Like, it's so nice.
It's good. I'm so happy for you. Yeah, I'm really happy for you.
Thank you. Did you feel like different, like right after?
I felt lighter after. I felt lighter. I think cause like I had what's it called? Like the water retention.
Girl, you should have seen my ankles.
Oh my gosh, when you pushed it, then it was like a dip. Oh my god.
And like you would think, okay, you're on dialysis, like it's pulling that out, but like by the end, it just wasn't working anymore. And I went into the hospital, my ankles were like huge. My feet, it went all the way to my knees. And then right when I woke up, I was 10 pounds lighter. And I was like, oh, my feet are normal.
Yeah. That was like my first thing that I noticed was just like, I feel lighter. Like my face, my cheeks.
Yeah.
Like the acne. It was like...
No, yeah. Right now, I'm still on prednisone, and like my face like was normal, and it slowly like started like getting a little puffy. I'm just like, okay, I just can't wait till it's down like all the way to like whatever 5 or whatever. Because I'm like breaking out and like whatever, and I'm like, you know what? Who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
It'll go away.
Yeah, it'll go away. And then I feel like with the transplant, I feel like your body needs that time to get used to it. You know, like it's like pumping on itself again. So I think, everything just kind of started to go back to normal a little bit.
Did they tell you like afterwards, like what your kidney function was at once you were transplanted?
Right after, I don't remember. But I know right now I'm sitting at like, I go from like a 0.9 to like 1.0 around there. Like that's where I sit, like an average. When I first got transplanted, it was like an 8, like 0.8.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like
the function or the?
Oh no, my creatinine.
Yeah.
My function, I don't know.
Okay. Wait, what's your creatinine right now?
So like if they sit, like a 0.8, 0.9.
That's where I am too.
Yeah.
When they told me that, I was like, there's no fucking way. Like, I was at 11 point something right before, and then it went down to like 1, and I was like, whoa, that's crazy.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, it was really bad. That's when I wasn't doing all my treatment because I just couldn't. And they're like, there's nothing we can do. So I was just screwing myself every day, and I was getting sicker and sicker. I was in the hospital like a couple times right before. It was just like going downhill really fast.
Yeah. Those are the scary parts.
So okay, kind of talk about the day because you had a deceased, right? Talk about that day.
Okay.
How, like, what happened? How did you get the call?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so when I got the call, I was sleeping, and I woke up to like 10 missed calls from my transplant coordinator, and then she called me. Well, I answered the call, like, because she was calling again, and so I answered, and she was like, we have your kidney. And I was like, okay. And then she was like, you need to be here, like, within, like, the 6 hours, you know, but, like, obviously get here, like, as soon as possible. I was like, okay. And then, like, prior to that, they had talked to me about, like, what I would need to bring and, like, all that stuff. But I wasn't ready, like, to be transplanted. And so, like, I got, like, a suitcase ready. I packed all my stuff. And, like, I went over there. I stopped and ate Subway on my way over there. And then I got there. It was a little bit scary, I guess, because they couldn't transplant me right away because my potassium was low. And then so they're like, we don't know if, like, we're gonna be able to give you the kidney, like, your potassium's too low. They gave me potassium through my butt. So, like, it was like the fastest way. And then, like, that was pretty much it. And then they prepped me for surgery. I went back for surgery. When I woke up, I remember, like, looking down at my hands because I had literally, like, on each wrist, like, 20 plus, like, pokes because they couldn't get the right poke. I had, like, stuff coming out of my neck, and, like, I didn't know. Like,
yeah, because they just go in there and, like...
Yeah, like, I didn't know all these things were going to be connected to me. And so I got there, like, I'm, like, going to go back a little bit. I got there, like, during the day, like, maybe, like, around, like, 2. And I didn't get transplanted until, like, the next day, like, midnight or, like, 1 a.m.
Oh, dang. Because they were, like, testing it and everything, right?
Yeah, they were like, I think it was mostly me because, like, my potassium, my blood pressure, it was just, like, a whole bunch of different things that, like, weren't going right. And so, like, they had to, like, stabilize that and then...
Yeah. Dang. But how did you feel? Were you excited? Were you freaking out?
Yeah, I was freaking out because I was on hold for a while. Like, I was on the transplant list, but I was on hold. And so once they took me off of hold, it was literally like a month later when I got called. And so I just wasn't prepared, I think. I was really excited, but I was just like, is this really happening? Like, I don't know. It was scary.
Yeah. When they took you, like, back to the operating room, like, were you freaking out then, or were you, like, just ready to get it over with?
I think I was just ready to get it over with. I don't remember going back to the operating room.
Oh, really?
Or, like, any of that. I remember just, like, being, like, prepped in my room, and then, like, that was it.
Dang. You're lucky for that. I was crying the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was just like, please put me to sleep.
Okay.
Yeah. It was scary. And I saw the kidney in a box. Like, not the actual kidney. That they wouldn't let me see that either. Oh, wow. But it was in a box. They did not test that thing. Unless they did, like, really fast. But I saw the doctor cutting it out of, like, a box from the mail.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'm just like, that's it? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, can I look at it? I'm like, no. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, wow.
Then please put me to sleep. I don't want to be here right now. Like, I was, like, so scared. I thought I was going to die. Like, that was my biggest fear. I thought that something would happen while they were inside of me and I would just die. So I didn't...
Oh my God, just death, done.
I didn't want to, like, do it. And I was scared of the pain after. Like, all of that. I was just like...
How did you wake up?
I remember I couldn't open my eyes, but I could hear everyone. And I remember I was asking for drugs because it hurt so bad. And I was just like, please, I need something. And then they did it and it went away. And then, like, it was another, like, 10 minutes maybe before I could, like, see.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. Yeah, I just couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
How about you?
I woke up, like, screaming.
What?
Yeah, I woke up like screaming. I think like I was just like in panic, like you know, like when you like get put to sleep and sometimes like you wake up like not crying but just like like scared. I think like because I went to sleep a little bit scared. But I remember my sister was there and she was recording me and I woke up like a little bit screaming, and then after that, she was like recording me and I was saying, because my grandma, I was really close to my grandma, I was just saying like I want my grandma, like I want my grandma. And I have a video of it, and like that's what, like I think that's when I woke up.
Dang. Yeah, because you didn't like even remember going back there. So all of a sudden you're just in pain, you wake up and like yeah, that's scary.
Yeah. And then like I feel like when you wake up, it's like you're not like laying down like a normal, and like you're like, you know, like propped up, you know. So I felt like that even made it more scary. And I remember like one of my good friends from high school, like she came to visit me, and it was like my first time like seeing people, and like they were trying to talk to me, and like I just like threw up, like projectile threw up.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I was like what the heck, like it was embarrassing, you know. I felt embarrassed, like people coming to see me when I was just like I don't know, it was just like a weird moment, I think.
Yeah, I didn't want anyone to come see me, like except my parents, sister, whatever. But yeah, I was like, no, you don't need to come. It's okay. Like you can see me afterwards. But yeah, it was just like awkward.
Yeah, it's just like it's an awkward feeling. Yeah.
Yeah. But okay, let's see what else. I haven't even been looking at this. Okay, yeah. How long were you in the hospital after like you had it?
I was in the hospital for 7 days, like Sunday to Sunday.
Dang.
What about you?
3 days.
3 days? Oh wow.
Yeah.
3 days? That's crazy.
Yeah, I was kind of concerned too. I was just like, I could go, and they're like, unless you want to stay. I'm like, well, I don't really want to stay, but if I can go, I want to go. They're like, yeah, you can go. I'm like, oh.
When did you start walking?
The next day.
Yeah, the next day.
But no, that's a lie. 2 days later, because the first day they tried to get me up, it hurt too much. I just like stood up, and then I asked to go sit down again because
it hurt.
It hurt really bad.
Oh.
And then after that, I started using the button a lot to get my drugs. Yeah. So once I was doing that, I was able to like get up and walk. But I would like sweat like a lot just walking like 10 feet or something. So yeah.
Yeah, same. I walked, like I got transplanted, and the next day I like walked, but I was on that button, like I was on it. Yeah. I remember my first shower, like after being transplanted and like going home in my first shower, I was so exhausted. I remember calling the doctors and being like, is this normal? Like, am I supposed to feel like this? Because I really felt like I was gonna pass out if I took like 4 steps, like from one side of the room to the other. Like I was exhausted, and I didn't know if that was normal. I feel like I wasn't like prepared enough, like for what was gonna happen after the transplant. Just that you're gonna be your best and feel your best, but other than that, I feel like I wasn't like explained like
the first like month.
Yeah,
I know. When I took my first shower, I was so out of breath. Like I wanted to wash my hair, but I like couldn't like keep doing it. Like it just felt like I was doing it for so long, and then like trying to lift my leg out of the tub. I was like, oh god, like how am I gonna get my leg over that?
Right. How am I gonna even like pick up my arms or like dry your body after? Like
yeah, like bend over and like get your like legs and stuff.
Yeah.
I was just like, can you like dry my lower half, please? Like I can't. No, yeah, it was like really, really hard. And then I just had to sit on the bed for like a really long time before I got dressed because I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah, you need to catch your breath. Even before transplant, I remember like being like taking showers and like you start like, I don't know if it was because the water was too hot or like I would start to see like black things, you know, I'd have to like sit down for a little bit.
Oh dang.
Yeah, but I think that's like because of hypertension and like stuff like that. But
how's your like blood pressure and all that now?
It's good. I actually just got taken off blood pressure medicine. Yeah.
Nice.
So I was on a very low dose, but yeah, I finally got taken off it. So that was really exciting. But before and after, it was pretty bad. Like it would sit in the 140s.
Oh dang.
But now I'm a 120s girl.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. I know mine was like pretty high like that too, and my heart rate was like really, really, really high. And then now my blood pressure is good, but because of the heart thing, they have me on like a beta blocker / blood pressure. So my blood pressure's been dropping to like, one day it was in the 90s and I felt like shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so now it's like a very, very, very small dose. And that hasn't happened, but it's been like low, like hundreds, not above 110 most days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How do you feel like with because I know like when your blood pressure gets high, like the only way I can describe it is that feeling of like when you haven't ate all day, like you start to get shaky and like you feel sick. But how do you feel like when your blood pressure is too low?
Like a little dizzy. And for me, I felt like it's kind of hard to breathe. Like I feel like short of breath.
Okay.
And then I just feel like I want to go to bed. Yeah.
Okay.
But other than that, like I feel like it is pretty similar to like high blood pressure. Like just like that feeling of like you feel like off.
Like achy.
Yeah, you do get shaky too.
Okay.
So it's just kind of, I don't know.
Yeah. That's interesting.
So how many medications are you on right now?
Medications right now, I'm on 1, 2, 3.
3? Oh, dang. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, I'm on my 2 immunosuppressants and then a vitamin D.
Oh, nice. So are you on Cellcept?
So Cellcept, I was on Cellcept and now I don't know what the medication's called now. But I was on like Cellcept, Myfortic, and I just stopped that like last week. And then I'm on Invarsis. And I was taking Prograf, but I did not like taking medications 2 times a day. So I switched to Invarsis, it's just 1 time a day, and then vitamin D. I was taking prednisone, but how you were like talking about the puffiness, I didn't like that, and I didn't like, I was constantly hungry. Like,
wait, how many milligrams of prednisone were you on?
5.
Okay, see, I feel like even 5, you feel side effects, especially if you're a small person. And they tell me no, but I've always been on prednisone my whole life, like on and off because of the lupus and stuff. So like, yeah, I know that you feel it, and they keep telling me no. And so I was nervous when they're like 5 for the rest of your life. And I'm like, fuck.
Oh no, I stopped taking it.
Just on your own?
On my own. Because when they went over medications, my doctor like, oh, like, are you still taking prednisone and this? And I'm like, no, I'm not taking prednisone anymore. And like, it wasn't like a thing. Maybe it's because like I went from pediatric to adult, and so like my doctor like he wasn't the one who prescribed it to me, and so like maybe that's why he just didn't like really like question it. But I stopped taking it on my own, and like there wasn't like a notice or like a difference in like my kidney function or anything.
Yeah, so that's good. They said that they want me to stay on it because I have lupus.
That's understandable.
But I'm just like, as long as I'm on like the immunosuppressants, it shouldn't come back. So I don't really need it. But I'll wait for like maybe a year until I say something. Because I know like it's not fully gonna go away for me.
And maybe even after that year, like stop on your own and like see if like, and I know it sounds crazy, don't listen to me. But like,
just stop taking your meds, it's fine.
But like, I don't know, maybe just stop and like see how it affects you. Like if you obviously feel sick, then I mean like call your doctor, but like, you know, like your levels, like your blood levels and things like that, like I feel like if there's not a difference in that, then like same thing with blood pressure medicine. I feel like the doctor would just be like encouraging the blood pressure medicine, and I would be like, well, I can go on walks, I can do this, you know. And they'd be like, no.
Yeah, they just want you to take the pills. Yeah,
but I don't like that. But
no, I don't really like Prograf. It makes me shake, and not like all day, but a little bit, like here and there. And then it gives me headaches every like an hour after I take them. Yeah, so I don't really like that one.
Okay. I switched from Prograf to Invarsis, and you don't have to take it 2 times a day.
It's just once. Yeah, that sounds better.
I didn't know that was an option until like my doctor told me like, how do you feel about taking it twice a day? I'm like, I don't really like it. They're like, well, we can only take it once. We have this one, and I was like, okay.
So because I'm just like, right now it's whatever. I'm not working. I'm just home. Like it's fine. But like I take pills 4 times a day right now.
Oh wow.
So it's like if I'm doing something, it's like fuck. Like I need to like eat with this one, and then I like can't eat with this one, and I'm just like, oh my god, like it's too much.
Are you on like 8, 9 different medications?
No, I'm on 14.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So a lot of them I'm going to stop soon, like at the 3 months, 6 months, whatever. But yeah, 14 right now. And it's a lot. It makes me feel sick. Like in the morning, I take the bulk of them, and it's like, oh my god, I need a minute to just like lay there. Yeah. But yeah, it sucks. I hate medicine. Just like in general, I hate medicine. So,
well, it'll go down.
Yeah.
It'll go down.
So this is a question I'm curious about.
Okay.
So obviously, when you had your transplant, you were like a kid, so to speak. But now you're like an adult.
Yeah.
Like you can drink and you can like do stuff. So how did do you feel like you can like drink like normal, or like you watch yourself, or like what?
Yeah, no, I feel like that's a very good question. I drink as normal. I drink pretty normally. My partner, he always tells me like, like maybe we should, like he's very cautious of my drinking, of like when we go out, like if his sister's like, hey, like let's drink or something, he's like, no, like Nadia can't drink, and I'm like, yes I can, like but he's like, I feel like he's like my biggest advocate in just taking care of like my kidney. But I drink as normal, but I feel like I don't go too crazy, because the next day my kidney is sore.
Oh really? Like you feel it?
Yeah, like you can feel it. Like it's like it gets sore.
Oh dang. So I'm not gonna lie. Obviously right now I feel like I'm on vacation. What? I feel like I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
So everyone like wants to hang out. Like I never see anyone when I come to Modesto, because we only come like Thanksgiving, Christmas, and we just see family. That's it. So everyone's like, let's go out, let's do this. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna take shots, guys. Like it's only been a month, but like I've been drinking like beer, and they said I can only have one beer at a time. One beer at a time, 3 times a week. And I'm like, I surpassed that in one night. Okay, like the first night, it was just me and my sister, and she's like, let's just drink some claws. And I'm like, okay, that's safe, right? And I had like 2 or 3, but then the next day I kind of didn't feel very good. And then the next day I went out and I had just 1 beer, it felt fine. And then the next day I had like 2 seltzers again, it felt fine. And then the next day I had beer again. I'm like, fuck, I keep drinking. But it's like,
you're celebrating.
Yeah, like what am I supposed to do? I'm not taking shots.
Yeah. But I will say the hangovers are 10 times worse.
Yeah. This whole week I felt like shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it has to be the drinking. I'm doing nothing different.
It's the drinking. And it's never, and the 5 years that I've been drinking, it's not gonna change. Like if I drink the next day, I feel like shit.
Dang, so it never gets better.
It never gets better.
Dang it. No, yeah, because I could drink a lot. Like even when I was on dialysis, like I would drink a lot, and I would be sick the next day. But like I would be fine like in the moment, and that's all I cared about, which obviously isn't smart. But yeah, but I'm like scared of alcohol. I know it will go, like I can drink later down the line.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go crazy because I'm like scared. But it's like I want to just like live my life, you know?
Yeah. I feel like it, like, yeah. But I also feel like that feeling never goes away. Of like, I just want to live my life. I just want to be normal. I just want to feel normal. Like that feeling, and like I feel like that like resentment towards like your kidney and like everything that happened, like I feel like it never goes away. And so like the celebrating, like I'm celebrating me, like that's always gonna be there too.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, who cares?
And like to be fair, I've been trying to wean myself off of drinking because I'm just like, once I get the transplant, I need to take care of myself better. But like also our friends, like okay, I'm 25, like everyone wants to fucking drink.
Yeah.
They don't want to just hang out. Well, like at some points, but you know, like at night they want to go out, they want to drink, and so do I. And like the thought of like I'm just the DD every time, like no,
you don't want to be the DD anymore. You want to be like, no, it's my party time now.
Yeah.
Like I'm the star of the show right now.
Yeah, but I'm a really bad influence. Like I'm the one that gets everyone fucked up.
I'm like, so what are we doing after this, James?
For real. No, but yeah, like I literally, yeah, that's always gonna be something I have to like be careful about.
Yeah.
But I was just curious because I'm like, I know you drink. Like I see you.
Yeah. No, I drink. Yeah. But yeah, the next day I do feel like a little bit, you know. But I will say, one time I got drunk off of beer, and the next day I didn't have no hangover.
Really?
Yeah.
I know. Okay, I used to love beer, and then I started drinking like hard alcohol, so I like didn't like beer anymore.
Okay.
But since that's all I can really drink, I'm like, dang, beer is fucking good. So maybe I will become a beer girl again.
Yeah. But you are very close to transplant, so maybe that's why you're feeling like a little bit sicky.
No, yeah, I know. Only a month.
Yeah. Oopsies. But it's okay.
No, yeah. Once I go home, I probably won't drink that much because it's like I have to go to work. I have to like do normal things again. But right now, I'm like, I'm just like free.
Yeah. Yeah. Free. Yeah. So it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, I condemn you. It's okay.
Coming from you who's saying, just stop taking your medicine. It's fine.
I'm like, take your meds though. Take your meds.
Take your meds. Okay, the last question. What advice would you give to someone young that has to go through what you went through?
Okay. That's a really good question. Advice for somebody young who has to go through something that we went through. I would say like keeping an open heart and like an open mind and like, you know, like not running away like so fast into like your sickness, but also like you're still a kid, you know, you can still have fun, you know, you can still go to that senior sunrise and like be with your friends and stuff like that. Honestly, I think like watching you and like your journey, because like your journey like kind of happened after mine a little bit, and I feel like that gave me like a new light on like how to go about it, and I feel like it opened up like just like a different like vision of like you can still be happy and you can still do things. Because I remember just like being 15 and 16 like hating my life, like hating everything that was going on, like so mad at the world, so mad that this was happening to me. And like I look back on it now and like I wish that I was just like more like open to it, I guess, like open to what was happening to me and like being okay with what was happening to me and like not like exclude myself from like life.
Yeah.
So I would say just like still be you and go out there and have fun.
No, yeah, I get that. But I did go through a lot of like depression, like a lot.
Yeah.
But I would like force myself to like do stuff because I'm like, otherwise I'm gonna be just like sad alone because no one's gonna wait for me, you know. And so it's like either I have FOMO, I cry about it here, or I could just like maybe feel a little sick and go.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I get that. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.